tree service stuff.
The stream started.
Oh,
So,
okay. Thank you. Perfect.
With the front and the back windows open, I want you to hear any of the traffic coming by. Because to me, it's very,
Loud?
yeah.
Okay.
And
Well-
I'm not too concerned about here, it's
Yeah.
concerned about the video.
Yeah. I mean, I would say the air circulation is really nice.
Oh,
Maybe just open the back ones and not the front
well, the
ones.
back ones and the front ones, I opened up.
Yeah.
If you think, we can open them all up, it's just that I'm concerned about the road here.
Yeah. I would say, unless it gets really stuffy, let's close them.
Let's open them open for now.
Right, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Right. And I can turn on just the fans, but that's why you don't see
Oh,
on.
okay. That's fine. Yeah, no, we're good. We're all vaccinated. I know you are because I talked to you last night. Greg and I are.
I got the Johnson & Johnson the
Oh,
first
you
weekend it was
did?
available,
Oh,
up at the Speedway.
nice. That's fabulous.
It was actually a month before I was scheduled to give my shot, my first shot.
Yeah.
So I was gonna have the Johnson, just one shot, give it.
Yeah, nice. I like that.
And I only had, that was on a Monday, and come Wednesday, I felt extra tired.
Yes.
That was
That's
it.
That's it.
That's what mine was.
Oh, here comes the boy.
Oh, there we go.
Ben,
There you go.
what happened to your yarmulke? You had already left?
Yeah, they did.
He had one made.
Oh, I gotta fix your tie.
Everyone made?
Yeah, it matched
What about you, sir?
his talus.
Oh.
It's okay. I didn't like it. And she charged me a lot.
This one that I have here, which is my favorite, my father got this on his one trip to Israel. So he actually purchased this at the River Mall.
It's nice.
So
Special.
that's why I wear it.
It's very special. My dad bought one for Ben from Israel, which is, it's beautiful too. We had the one made and forgot about that one. But I think that one looks, the ones we bought.
Have you guys been to Israel yet?
No, but I'm going in November.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I have not been yet.
I'm going with the mom's, the Momentum trip. It's from the Jewish Federation is sponsoring mothers.
Oh,
Um,
no wonder I didn't hear about it. I'm not a mother.
it's a really incredible opportunity, so.
I was supposed to go back about 8 or 9 years ago with Temple Beth Abraham. With actually two other temple members from here. But it got canceled. It didn't have enough people.
My dad, who I just saw arrive, he is a member of the Temple Beth Abraham.
Oh, okay.
So I was gonna look.
Yeah, I was telling you about it.
Yeah.
It was very
Cemetery.
influential.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you should talk to my dad
He's been a long time member?
since the 70s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's a good chance, in the 70s, well, we might have known my grandfather. My grandfather died in 1972.
Oh.
On his
He
one,
wouldn't have been here
on
then.
his one and only trip to Israel.
Oh.
He was supposed to come back, he was a very stubborn, smart man, but very uneducated, thought he knew better than doctors. He never took his medication correctly.
Oh.
The day he was supposed to come back, he had a massive heart attack.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That's unfortunate.
Well, at least you got to see Israel.
Yes. All right, I'm gonna click the link and make sure it works.
Right. Don't remember, I catch you doing this.
Oh, okay, got it. There we go.
This is all set, that's all set.
Everything is
Right, everything's
good.
going.
I had to take off my mask, I know.
Were you able to get in touch with Rachel last night?
Yes, she's very looking forward to it. I'm very happy that.
Sit on the other side and change.
Oh, nice. Don't move it. He was testing it before.
Try that.
It is closer, but it's still, you can't see much. Can't see.
Yeah.
Still hard.
Wait, you put my towels there?
I don't know, but I think, oh, you guys messed up right up here?
So here,
Dun, dun, dun.
In fact, you'll be at the podium doing it, because we're sitting over here. And just to show you.
Is there any respect for the altars that I need to know about?
No problem. You're all set.
Just don't go forward.
Well, I hope, hopefully you're not gonna be careful. Right, just to show you. That's Torah Service.
So stand again. You're going to sit back here.
That's right.
It doesn't matter. Whatever I'm supposed to do, I'm
Mom, should we take this out of the
Just, you
box?
see, here's the prayer for peace.
Mom, should we take this out of the box?
And it's done responsibly. You do the first two lines, we do the second two lines. You do the third section, right.
No, I can read it.
Can you? I can find,
That love and justice flow like a mighty stream, like the peace for the earth as the winter's waters for the sea. And let us say, amen.
amen.
Did you see his yacht?
Are you gonna read that? Okay.
Does anybody, Greg, do you have a mint?
In the car.
A mint?
Yeah, in the car. Oh,
David to the rescue.
nice.
It's not a pill, is it?
No, my other close it up.
This is a Tic Tac.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. It looked like a little,
I'm just wondering what happened to it. Oh, it's up there.
Can I put a little thing there so that I don't get too nervous and not be able to find it?
the rabbi's using this one.
Oh,
the rabbi's using it.
What page is it? You
Oh, no,
do your own.
he will trust it.
He
So, the
he will
service
put
is
it
very,
That's the former, he's the
Yeah,
rabbi.
I always want to borrow or something.
oh, no, yeah.
Yeah. I know. And what are the words about this?
Then
Yahweh?
figure out here.
Oh, you don't know that McDerry yet? He's the older fellow, who usually sits back there, hold himself somewhere, he's got the beard like me. You see him around.
Oh, there we go.
Was it bigger? Oh,
Yeah,
I
it's
need
a good
that.
book.
Oh, I need that.
I'm okay with the little one.
So you can hold
I
on
can
to this
read
one.
the
and you
little
can
one.
bring it up.
I'll use the big book.
I can
because
read
my
that.
eyes are bad.
Well, no, but now you're replaceable.
Oh, okay.
But, in fact, the best thing to do is
Just bring it with me?
yeah, you can actually use it for today,
Okay.
as we're doing this service and all that.
You know, Marianne, I'll use the big book if you don't want to use
It's
the
up
big
there,
book.
we have a bunch of other ones.
I want to know if that says Yahweh.
What, way up top?
Yes.
No, that's the, those are Hebrew letters representing the Ten Commandments.
Oh,
Aleph,
okay.
Bet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Vav, Zod,
Oh.
Shet, Yod.
Thank you.
In other words, for those in the Hebrew language, once a year, it's the first step. There was ABC, Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet. We read right to left,
All set?
so it starts here on this side.
Okay.
Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Vav, Zod, Shet, Tet, Yod. In other words, that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Very good. Ah, thank you. I
You're
was,
welcome.
I was wondering this today. And the light in the temple is the light that was
Eternal light.
on the, yeah,
Right.
it was in the temple. And when they.
Yeah, as we were traveling from Egypt back to Palestine, we always had the eternal light.
Well, give Janet a hand.
And what?
So this, you'd be better off to actually ask the rabbi what that says. He didn't read it better than I can. And as you can see, there are actually no vowels with that. The
Yeah.
same as in the Torah, there are no vowels. Whereas modern Hebrew has vowels in it,
Oh, okay.
which is easier for us. Doing well.
Back to the truck.
Yes, sir.
You're up front here.
Okay, make sure.
Because it's supposed to take something. It's supposed to get up to 72 or something. I don't like to leave it close to. Thank you.
Sure.
Don't break the seat.
Since the pandemic, is that correct?
So where would you like to sit?
Well, we don't want them too close.
There was the Welsh boy, but they didn't have it here, they actually had it at football.
Jan,
Oh, I thought we had one.
the rabbi said
Before
we
the,
should take
before the
first.
pandemic hit, we had a gut.
No, not every other sheet. I think he
Yeah.
thought that the view,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh,
And then we were
But wait till
scheduled
the
to
rabbi
have
gets
So
here.
this is gonna
the
be
Welsh
back.
boy.
And so it's if you're sitting.
That would have been in
here,
December.
Or something. Or not
But
a good
again,
view, so that's why
already
we're saying.
under pandemic
Keep
rules,
these
and they just
empty.
decided to have it at home. Family thing, they actually, somebody bought a Torah, not one of mine, but bought a Torah there, and they had it all, they actually live streamed it home from home. But this is the first.
This is the first one.
And of course, in 3 weeks,
What do you need?
we have tires.
I'm not sitting there because of the third seat. I just put it down.
As far as I know right now, that's the last. Oh, no, we have,
And
yeah, that's tires.
he said,
3 weeks. And the last gun, like,
bring me on.
she's scheduled, I think she's scheduled for this coming up December, yeah. After that, I'm not quite sure what's happening, because, I know that some people have left, for whatever reasons they have.
Before the.
We need to move this around just so you can.
Yeah, we'll have a listing of what's going on, but we'll have a listing of what's going on. I usually have a listing of what's going on. There was supposed to be Joshua Citron. Was supposed to be in June, but they decided, either it was last year or a couple of years ago, that they're actually gonna have that, at least tentatively still, they're gonna go to Israel. Which is very nice. Right. But of course, that- huh? No. That's what I'm saying, it's tentative, right, tentative whether or not they're gonna go.
This is just awful, as a matter of fact. You should have laughed. I talked to Brian.
That way you can see everything.
Too much.
Otherwise you can't.
Yes, here, yeah.
Which, by the way, was very impressive.
I actually caught it live stream a little of it. Because actually I was here for his first rehearsal, which was back 2 or 3 weeks ago. So I saw what he was gonna do, he had his own camera that he had set up. In fact, I know I even mentioned to Nadav that the camera that he uses is a much higher quality camera than what we have. Because again, I was able to check it out afterwards at home. I'm able to actually use it on Chromecast. I can actually watch it on the big screen instead of watching on the damn computer.
I'm okay.
Well, I've heard Mark say numerous times with things like this. Visible, terrifying, overly visible, that's because of the activities, but just to be flat. He didn't know what it was overly.
Yeah.
Get this.
I noticed when he is doing some official stuff, he does open up, yeah, because he's spoken. But again, when he is doing official, I noticed that also, that when he was rehearsing, he says, speak up, talk into the mic, the whole 9 yards.
Yes.
But when I watched it online, I didn't watch the whole thing. So when I watched the beginning of it, it opened right up, and okay.
It's just like that. I said, who is this guy?
I'm actually hoping come high holidays that we're able, we could live stream it still, but I'm hoping we're back doing standing stuff.
Right. I'm sure that,
But well, again, this is part of what.
Yeah. We'll be able to do that. And all the rules are being relaxed.
Right, right.
Can't go crazy, but in certain-
But again, me, this is what grab the
No
gym,
question,
sure.
no question.
I'd rather see it back here. In fact, I'm already wondering, I'm gonna mention grab the gym.
You're doing good.
Jeremy, for the month,
This little one has.
June 15th is basically his last day. June 15th, is basically his last day. I'm wondering what we're gonna do. Was it look between Josh and Gary? You
No,
gotta figure out-
no, it's on the sideline. Gary's gonna start.
But what are we planning to do? Are we gonna follow what we're doing right now? Every other
I
Saturday?
don't know the answer to that.
Right, again, I'm planning every other Saturday we're doing. We're still gonna do this. We're still gonna do,
Almost guaranteed.
but I'm also.
Just how many people do you not
Right,
just
do.
around?
Right, but are we gonna have an abbreviated Torah service? It's gonna be abbreviated Torah services. Only 7 idiots, only 3 lines minimum, Gilead, it's very minimum of what we're supposed to do. Or we're gonna go back to a complete Torah service.
I don't have.
But again, we're gonna have a plan. I'd love to be able to plan of what's gonna happen. We don't have to go Torahs to.
Gary will be here today.
I'm sure.
I have a meeting with him, to talk about some other things.
Have you ever had a, seen a
Why
child like
our
that?
mitzvah is shut between.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Such a sweetheart.
And I turned it first. September 11th.
Right.
So I'm going to redo.
Oh, okay. Well, I understand this, I understand the same thing happened when Kirk Douglas. So, 80, he also did the same thing.
So anyway.
We used to say, "Look,
So I've been talking to Rabbi Gary because he was talking about, I practice a little bit. But the DePasse guy, 1 year 13.
Well, you forget exactly what you
No,
took,
when
but,
13, you don't really understand.
right,
Actually digging, delving into it. I
Well,
will Google and.
Shabbat Shabbat is last on the, in the Torah.
No, it's the one that it's between, it's never next.
Right, well, again, the Shabbat Shabbat is between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur.
It's the one
But the one-
where the theme is redemption.
That's right.
the pandemic, she had some trip, which was good.
You go right into
After is from
They
Hosea.
wouldn't give me my
Right.
number.
And both Hosea and Micah, the two
My
fathers, their lifetime
girlfriend
Right.
asked me to come with me.
has always been.
They canceled that show. Just the other day.
You're gonna, so it'll be Rachel, then
Right,
the
is
school
that
teacher, and then you guys. Okay?
Second,
The third one. Okay?
what it is.
Okay.
Because the last portion is Moses' last message.
That's interesting. So anyway, I've been doing the research.
You're gonna say this at the beginning?
They didn't do it.
Confusing to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
And they
introduce you.
said,
Shabbos,
I said, well, my husband passed. They let me put my girlfriend's name.
Rabbi, this is my dad.
Nice to meet you.
And this is Rabbi George.
Mazel tov. Mazel tov.
Yeah.
My stepmother is over there. And
Yes.
and then Frank was over here. So, oh, you were wondering where you should sit, because Janet, you said put her in the third seat.
That way, I'm gonna just put you.
Yeah, oh, so should he go on the other side?
Yeah, yeah, that way they're not like white.
Yeah.
You're not getting more of the rabbi.
Hello.
Shabbos.
Hello, hello. how are you?
Congratulations. Thank you.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom,
Love-
shalom, Shabbat.
Love the Kamsa mask.
Oh, that is nice.
Projecting good vibes.
Yeah.
Like, I know
Before Babylon. Before we got Babylon.
I don't know the other day.
She told me our airfare.
Hi, stranger.
How are you?
How are you?
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
We're gonna be putting it on in about 10 minutes, so set it right here for now.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Oh, Dad, you haven't seen this. Let's show, let's show Jim.
this is the special. We have the program. So this is where it's high. And then this is where it goes down here.
I never came.
So when
Oh, okay, but sure, you saw it.
I saw that in the email.
the Tali arm is with that.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Well, Will Zach decided to purchase.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, everything. And of course, I was working on two of the projects. Do you remember the one for, Lionel Diamond?
Oh, yeah.
But that was one where you saw that there was,
Discrepancy in the date.
right, between the Gregorian date and the Hebrew date.
Yep.
Well, the Gregorian date is correct.
So we have,
So, but again, we'll put the correct Hebrew
the
date.
Gregorian date is correct, but we have to put the,
Yes.
no, was it nightfall or
No,
So did you
it's not.
before
But
sunrise?
again, there was a 2-day difference.
So this is the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I double checked it. I like double and triple checked it. I'm like,
Yeah, it's incorrect on the stuff.
Yep.
Nope.
We can-
Also looking at
Those sounds.
for a million
That is you.
Mandel, who would be, which actually they purchased a plaque years ago.
Right,
That actually be Leaders Bible system.
right, yep.
Right. And again, she heard about cemetery. And I took a picture and checked it out. There seems to be a discrepancy on that stone, also on the Hebrew.
I bet that was probably, there's probably a few there.
Right, this one, because she died back in 2006.
And
So
the
actually
words
be
around it
57,
change
66.
from generation to generation.
Okay.
There would actually be 60, should be a.
Oh, yeah. Where did all the friends go?
No, 60, 60. It was just 50, Summit is 60.
Right, what appears to be this is a last minute.
Could be. I'll take, if you give me
Right,
that.
again, it's not on the other ones that I already gave you. I'll give you that
Okay.
later. But again, when I'm looking at it, it says, if it's the MM, that actually would think it's 46.
Yeah.
This is, but again, to me.
Well, but if it's a final number, it's incorrect.
Right, but again, it's the final number, but it's not in the place.
Right.
Which to me, though, is an engraving. Whoever
Or it
engraved
could just be some weird font. It could be some, because some,
Again.
because sometimes there are different, certain font styles where the Summit and the final number
look very close.
except for like a little corner should be missing off the
Well,
bottom right.
again, the sound should be actually more oval than square. That. Hi, good morning. Stranger. What are you doing?
Oh,
Just
You're Greg's mom?
I'd like to meet.
Thank you.
You're other than Greg's mom.
You know, I have to wear the things, I may as well enjoy them. So. Right, so we're reading Torah from here?
Well, this actually gets moved over to them when we take the Torah.
Okay.
There's no,
Okay,
right, we just take the Torah out. There's only
We made it.
Torah, we go back, no matter what, there's one Torah out, there's only 7 Aliyahs. You'll be called up for number 6, he's reading 6 and 7.
yes, I know, because I taught him 6 and 7.
Right. And Rabbi's doing the half Torah,
Yeah.
and he'll be actually on 7. There's no month here.
Who's got by you?
Me and Rabbi.
Okay.
We look out for each other.
Okay,
Of course, the Rabbi is the one who calls out.
right, okay. Yeah, because I've been looking again on his reading, and I told him if he wanted me to rabbi, if he would get from here, I would do it. But if I'm rabbi, he's really comfortable.
I went to see you 2 Fridays ago. He was very good. No
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah, we've been, this kid has changed.
Well, not retired, but I'm gonna get you that. I still have to work on this. 30-something years. Yeah, so I'm gonna be, so I'm gonna wrap up, next couple of months here.
And I took this as a fill the gap.
It is very tough.
They tell me.
Go back and rewrite the curriculum for medical school, I think I would
So,
definitely.
what are you working on?
Yeah.
Well, you know, eventually
Well,
I'm gonna have to start
it's
with
gotten better.
Merrimack. Oh, okay.
My mentor,
Right to Merrimack.
I mean, he was there when there was still some
Oh,
crazy.
there's someplace.
Yes.
It's in the building once.
Near Bicentennial.
He said, he was a rabbinical student.
Near the
The only time I've ever heard them mention synagogue class was when it was preceded by the.
I don't know, maybe.
No,
I was there once. You know, do my fingerprints.
practical events, so.
Yes, I'm working, no, I did fingerprints, they did, yeah.
So it's come a ways, but there's still.
I'm working with other people's
Every time,
money.
every iteration, we can figure out other ways to tweak it.
In fact, the first one is gonna be called. It's supposed to be
Exactly.
just fine.
Yeah, I know.
Because they know each other.
She told me I'm second.
Breakfast, yeah, you're number 2.
Yeah, I know.
The daughter's number 3.
I would have been on the podium, but that's gonna get moved around a little bit.
Well, I'm in everybody.
But we can
Ben's number 6.
put them somewhere where you're gonna know where they are.
Don't ask me anything about toddlers yet.
Yeah, I'm not there on that one.
You're not gonna be here for that one?
No, I'm not there, I haven't been in touch with her.
So we're ready for,
I was in college.
Yes, I'm sorry, I'm right next to you.
Yeah. Well, I'm from the Midwest originally.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. From Ohio, so I mean,
Out in the yard, it's a good
it
day
was
for it.
maddeningly familiar to me
The way that I left
to be back there.
yeah.
bread, wine, juice, and that's it.
Right, so I'm gonna get things going here. It's almost that time.
They're on the way, you know.
Getting close.
That close, yeah.
Getting close, almost there.
Almost kick off there.
Almost kickoff time. Almost.
How's Tom?
Good. He's napping on the floor of my bedroom right now. Although he mysteriously awakens when he realizes I put my shoes on. I was just like, oh, Daddy's gonna be giving me my goodbye treat. So
Yes, or he's taking me for a walk, yeah.
one of those two. Although he knows when I'm leaving the house.
Yeah,
He
oh,
knows.
yeah, they do, yeah, they do.
Yeah, and they said now, we've been vaccinated with other
Yep. Yep.
6 and 7, we call 6, 7.
She's gonna be called for number 4. Yeah. Yep. She's gonna be called for that.
You know, I feel like.
That was the short story. Yep.
How did you do that? I was gonna say, did you?
She
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't been talking.
Maybe that'll be the last one.
Okay, then I put your speech.
It's under all this stuff.
Yeah, one, it's either right or left.
That's
You'll
right.
know which one's yours. This is the one I printed out last night. Okay?
Yeah, so
Do
you
you
got-
want to read through it?
I was.
Yeah, he's got it by now.
Oh, you wanted to know because of the order of this, should read them and then save the Nancy's page?
No, you can do the thank yous right then. That's absolutely fine. Just do it all in one shot.
Perfect. Thank you.
Was this helpful? That one?
Oh my gosh, I actually provided it to our remote friends and family
Nice.
because I just thought it was very helpful.
Good. Good.
Thank you. Oh, perfect.
Great, you got 1 minute, then we're gonna grab your telly, dude. 1 minute and counting.
And then the nurse got mad, she closed her mouth. It was
I know, she, last summer. I get in the door. Janet Brooks.
Oh, no.
1 o'clock in the morning.
Somebody came to the house.
How are you? Good. Yeah.
I've been back.
Oh, there's your
I know they do.
Where am I supposed to stay?
Great. Ready? Awesome. Thank you so much. Right, yes. Thank you. Right, so. Adonai, Eloheinu, Share, Shanu, Dixie Manu, Hitatev, put it on your shoulders, however you so desire. Very nice. That's a history. You can do it like that. I have kind of like over here. Yeah. I have my Jewish super anyway. Yeah, exactly. There you go. And the more you use it, the more they'll like it. For kind of wear in a little bit. You can go sit down for now because I'm actually have you come up and tell us. But I'm kind of. Your family. And let's get a seat. There you go. All right, Shabbat Shalom, guys.
Shabbat Shalom.
That was a little lopsided. Let's try that again. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
For those of you not familiar with what that means, Shabbat Shalom is a traditional greeting on the Sabbath. It literally means a Shabbat of peace. So Shabbat for us is the seventh day of the week, a literal weekend. So literally the Jews are always working for the weekend. And so it's great to see you guys here to help celebrate not only Shabbat, but also Ben having become a bar mitzvah. That is, there's sort of a misnomer in Jewish tradition that you get a bar mitzvah or you have a bar mitzvah, or some people will refer to, oh, that's the synagogue where I got bar mitzvah, or that's the rabbi that bar mitzvah me. It's not a verb. It's a status. It's a thing that you become for the rest of your life. And so for Jewish boys, they become a bar mitzvah the day after their 13th birthday. So literally all they have to do is just have a birthday and then wake up the next day, which when I was 13 was a struggle. So I understand what the gravity of that is. And for girls, they wake up the day after their 12th birthday. So it's a status. It's the point where you reach Jewish adulthood. Does that mean that, okay, you're now free and clear of everything, you can go do whatever you want? No. I always have to tell some students that. Not Ben, he got it off the bat. Some students have to be kind of like talked down a little bit, like, I'm an adult, I can do what I want. No. Not quite. But you're old enough to start making mature decisions. And so I'll talk a little bit about that a little bit later. For now, we're going to get started with our service. And the morning service is pretty much the same outline as any other weekday service. Jews pray 3 times a day during the week, 4 times on the Sabbath and festivals. And we have a morning service, which is called Shacharit. That just means morning. And so one of the things I want to just kind of give us a warm up with right now is when a blessing is said, a blessing or bracha in Hebrew, the person saying it, you'll see that when we do the Torah reading here a little while later, someone will say a blessing, and does anyone know what the response to a blessing is? Amen, which literally means I agree. Comes from the same root as emunah, which is faith. I am putting my faith in what you just said. So I'm attaching myself to your blessing. So let's start out. I'm going to say a blessing that you say for when there's good news, when good things happen. And so a blessing is really invoking God in a moment. We're mentioning God. We're acknowledging God. And so this is a very good time to be here. This is a very, very good thing to be celebrating. We're going to say another blessing a little later, also related to that. For now, there's a blessing called Hatov V'Hameti, which refers to God as the one who is good and does good. And I think this is a pretty good time to say that. So every blessing pretty much begins, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hatov v'hametiv. And you say,
Amen.
there we go. Blessed are you, Lord our God, ruler of the universe, who is good and does good. All right, so now you guys have gotten warmed up, you got your practice going, you're good to go, your feet are in the starting blocks. And so we're gonna turn to our blue prayer books, our blue cedar reading. If you want to know which blue book, because there's two blue books in there. It's the not so big one. The Siddur Sim Shalom. And we're going to turn to page 81. 81. And as you'll see that the pagination is the same on both the right and the left-hand side. So the right-hand side is going to have the Hebrew. The left-hand side will have an English translation. And so this is we're going to begin the preliminary part of the service. A little spiritual warm-up, if you will. Page 81. Mizmor Shir, Chanukah B'Bayit Zavri. And meeting at the box down towards the bottom, up here on the right-hand side of the page. Oh, Fakta, Miskin Pita Saki Betazareni Simcha. The Ma'an is a mental about the low Yitom. Adonai Lahai Le'amodeka. So, one of the things you might have noticed there is I didn't read the whole thing out loud. There's a tradition in many congregations where you do what's called Ticha and Fatima. You just do like the opening part. And then you're going to hear me or whoever's leading kind of mumble a little bit to ourselves as we kind of go quiet for a bit. And then we meet again at these boxes here. And with the Hebrew, that's telling you where I'm going to pick up more or less. Every now and then I might take artistic license and pick up a little different spot, but more or less we meet at the box at the bottom. So it gives you a chance if you want to explore the Hebrew or to explore the English translation. And now we turn to page 82 for what's called the Kaddish Yatom, the Mourner's Kaddish. And I invite all those who are in mourning, those who are observing a yard site, those who wish to do so, to please rise as we turn to page 82 for the Kaddish Yatom. Yitzkadav, Yitzkadash, Merava, Yamav Yivrak Yirutev, Yamnik Malchuteh, V'chayethon Uv'yomethon, Uv'chayev Beit Yisrael, Magadav Zman Kariv, V'imru Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba, Mevarach, Elam V'Melmaya, Yitbarach, Yishtabat, Yitpahar, Yitrumam, Yinaseh, Yitadar, Yitaleh, Yitalel, Shemeh, Yikrisha, V'Rifu, Le'ela, Min Kol Berchata V'Shirata, Tushbachata, V'Nechemata, D'Amiram, D'Alma, V'Imru Amen. Yehi Shlamat, Rabba, Yinshemaya, V'chaim aleinu, v'yalkol Yisrael, v'yimru, Amen. Oseh shalom b'mamavu, yaseh shalom, aleinu, v'yalkol Yisrael, v'yimru, Amen. And we remain standing. For those of you who are already standing, for the rest of you, rise. We turn to page 83 for Baruch She'amar, in the beginning of Pesukei de Zimra, the next part of this preliminary service. Baruch She'amar v'haya ha'olam baruch hu, Baruch oseh v'reshit, Baruch omer v'yoseh, Baruch gozeh u'mkayem, Baruch merachem al ha'aretz, Baruch merachem al ha'briyot, Baruch Mishalem Sakartov Rehav, Baruch Chayil Adachayim Nenetzach, Baruch Pere Umatzil, Baruch Shemo, Baruch Yahid Heyanim, Melech Shabbat Uvre Shemo Haggadol, Baruch atah Adonai, melech mo'avati ishbakot. You may be seated. Page 84. Oh, the next British one, you, I mean, a little towel, she was on the secret home for the house. Claim it or not, look what's made, make God's deeds known among all people. Yes, my little blush. All the motion kind of the time touch not my anointed and my prophets, and do no evil. She will. Kihol Elayami Melilim, Varnai Shamayim Asa, page 85. Oh, the Hadar, the Fana, Oz, the Hedda, in Homo, Yismatu Hashamayim Betagel Haaretz. Romenu Adonai Eloheinu v'ishtakavod alav kadoshu. Romenu Adonai Eloheinu v'ishtakavod harkoshu. Yikadosh Adonai Eloheinu. 86. Vehu Rabbi Kavod Yashkitz V'hir Ba'al Hashem Apol Yirkol Chamato. Part of the weekday service is that we actually, after our main prayer, the Amidah, which comes a little bit later, there's some petitionary prayers called Tachadum that we usually do, asking God's forgiveness for various things because we are human beings, we are not perfect. However, on Shabbat, we don't do that. So this page here, 86, is as close as we get in our liturgy to doing that on the Sabbath. Just kind of a reminder of God's forgiveness without actually having to feel like we have to ask for it today. Adonai Sorashed Amoteach Ma Pranei Hashem Afianinu V'Yom Korenu. Middle half of the page. Oshiat Emecha Orevet Akotecha. We're able to sing Olam. So maybe people bless their heritage, nurture and sustain them forever. Ani v'chastaka v'tapiyah v'lishvatacha ashir l'nai kigam alalai. Now, like a choose your own adventure novel, I don't know if those are still a thing. I'm not hip with it anymore. We're going to skip a few pages to page 90. 90. And why don't we go ahead and read this one responsively? I'll read the regular bolded font, and you guys will read the italicized. Deal? Yeah. Deal. I had to hear at least one person say deal. Yes, in the English. There's no italics in the Hebrew. That would really throw me off if there was. Page 90. Dwelling in the shelter of the Most High, abiding in the shadow of the Almighty, I call Adonai my refuge and fortress, my God in whom I trust. Fear not terror by night, nor the arrow that flies by day, the pestilence that stalks in darkness, nor the plague that rages at noon. You need only look with your eyes to see the recompense of the wicked. God will instruct his angels to guard you in all your paths, to carry you in their hands, lest you stumble on a stone. Tread safely on lions and serpents. Since you are devoted to me, I will deliver you. I will protect you because you care for me. I will satisfy you with long life and lead you to enjoy my salvation. Ora Kini Wazarehu, Verehu Vishuati, Ora Yamin Asbiehu, Verehu Vishuati. Page 92, Psalm 136, the Hallel Haggadah. Oh, do Adonai Kitov, Ki Le'olam Chasdo. Oh, do Elohim, Ki Le'olam Chasdo. Oh, do Elohim, Ki Le'olam Chasdo. No, that's really. Noten lechem l'chabasar, ki le'olam chasdo. Oh, do lechem hashamayim, ki le'olam chasdo. Page 94, Psalm 92, the Psalm for Shabbat. And there's a nice little tune for Shlomo Carlebach. It's just literally the top line, the first 4 words. Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat, which means, as it says in English, a song for Shabbat. So there were certain psalms that were actually written for certain days of the week and for certain occasions that in the days of the temple, the Levites, who Ben will be talking about a little bit later, they would actually sing them as part of the worship service in the temple. So it was part of the liturgy back then. That's not part of the liturgy, but sounds like his lawnmower needs a little bit of work too. So Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat goes like this. Mizmor Shir, Shir L'Yom HaShabbat. 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 Shir L'Yom HaShabbat. Mizmor Shir, Shir L'Yom HaShabbat. Let us also read this in the English responsively. It is good to acclaim Adonai, to sing your praise, exalted God. Your works, Adonai, make me glad. I sing with joy of your creation. The thoughtless cannot comprehend, the foolish cannot fathom this. Your enemies, Adonai, your enemies shall perish, all the wicked shall crumble. The righteous shall flourish like the palm tree, they shall grow tall like a cedar in Lebanon. Planted in the house of Adonai, they will thrive in the courts of our God. And on the right-hand side of the page, on page 94, 6 lines up from the bottom. Sadikat amar yefrach ke'erez malvanon yisteh shetulim beveit Adonai be'atzvot Eloheinu yafrihu. Oh, Yenun B'Seva, the shaking V'Ranim, Yehol V'Hagi, Yashar Adonai, Suri V'Alatavo. And skipping merrily ahead a couple pages 96 and 97, Ashrei. Ashrei, Ashrei v'tefa'od, Yahalu chassalah, בדרך ומסור רצון זריק. וימות אדוני לבפי ויברך ובשר שם קודשו לעולם ועד ואנחנו נברך יחד יצא אלוהים hallelujah. And now we turn to page 100, middle of the page, Psalm 150, which is the final psalm in the book of Psalms. So one of the things that we do in the morning liturgy is that we symbolically conclude the reading of the book of Psalms every single day. It actually starts with Ashrei, because the main body of Ashrei is actually Psalm 145. And we just continue on, 146, 147, 148, 149, and 150. There you go. Yay! Thank you, Dave. So we symbolically conclude that. There's actually a custom and tradition among various communities where they will read like from the book of Psalms every day, and they're either going to do the whole book in a week or in a month, depending on how much time they invest in it every day. So, but at the very least, we symbolically concluded here on page 100 in the middle of the page. Hallelujah, 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 take our shofar. Hallelujah, hallelujah, name of the Lord. Hallelujah, 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 it's all from my call. Hallelujah, hallelujah, name of God. Hallelujah, 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 Tzil Shama. Hallelujah, hallelujah, Tzil Shua. Golden Shamate, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Oh, Shamate, hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Baruch Elohim Yisrael, Osei Le'Evado, Uvaruch Shemo Le'Olam, Mimelech Ba'aretz, Amen Ve'Amen. Turn ahead to page 104. We're going to go from 104 to the top paragraph of 105, Nishmat Kol Chai. Nishmat Kol Chai, Tevarech Eshem Adonai Eloheinu. Page 105. Bottom of the top paragraph, it's going to be four lines up from the bottom of that paragraph. 5 lines in total from the end of the left, the in the left. Miyid melach u'mishlach u'miyaroch lach Ha'il ha'gadol ha'gibor v'hamara El Elyon v'nishamayim v'ha'aretz Ne'alacha shechan forcha u'ne'berekeshin v'shveka ha'amur U'nedaliv barchi nafshi et Adonai Ve'hopravai Yeshem Bosho Adadat Muzaka Hagadol B'chol Shemecha Hagibor L'netzach Rav Noratecha Hamelech HaYoshev Kisei Ram V'nitza Shochenad Marom V'kadosh Shemo V'fi Shorim Kitano V'vrei Tzadikim B'tbarach V'shom Chasidim Titromam V'bekeret Kedoshim Titkadosh Ma'alot Rivavot Ha'avei Yisrael Shekin chovet kutsurim levanecha Eloheinu ve'Eloheinu lehodol lehalel leshabeach lefayamin lehoder v'lecholesh al kol divrei shir v'tizbahot David ben Ishayach lecha meshitecha. We rise 106. V'chein yishtabach shimcha la'ad ha'keinu ma'el Brachot ve'orahot me'atav yerolam baruch Adonai al-melech el bat-yishbachot el ha'olot Adonai nitno'ot V'shirei zimra me'er yakideu ve'olamim Chatzi Kaddish, bottom of the page, and again, for those of you unfamiliar with the service, whenever you see that, one of the Kaddishes is kind of a break in the service. It's letting you know when we're transitioning from one section of the service to another, whether it's an entirely different section or it's a subsection within a bigger section. But basically it's the bookmarks in the chapter of the book. Yitkadash v'yitkadash shemei rabbai Yamadi b'rakirtei gamlik malchutei V'chayiton v'mechon uv'chayirechol beit Yisrael V'agalav b'zman karim v'imru amen Yehesh v'ram v'barach V'lam v'mei al-maya Yitbarach yishtabach Yit'avish v'ram yitnasei Yitadar v'yitalei v'yitalach shemeh v'kudeshah v're'ehu V'lan v'bechata v'shirata V'ushbechata v'nechamata v'ram v'lamav v'imru amen Remain standing for the Baruch Hu, the call to prayer, and the formal beginning of the main meat and potato part of the Shacharit service, beginning with the Kriyat Shema and the blessings. Page 107. Baruch Hu Adonai Havorach. Baruch Adonai Borach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu Mechalam. Yosef Obrei Koshet Processional B'rei Atakol. You may be seated. Continuing on the page. Abayuka v'ekol shuka v'ekol yom nu'im v'ashkananai yakol. In Kirka Arnelin Haze, Vienna Matina Karam Abba, a fest of the Hag, calling out the Mashiach, in the Mashiach, Vithiata Meti, 108. El Adon Apola Maasim Baruch Barak Rafikon Neshama Olo Betibo Are Olanda Duna Sobemoto Ayit Gala Hayot HaKodesh V'Never V'Chavora Merkava Zekodo Mishor Livne V'Yisro Chesed V'Rachamim V'Kodu Mi'orot Shebara Eloheinu Yitzaram V'Da'an V'Vina V'Paskero V'Vad V'V'Ra Atan V'Hem Yod Moshe V'Kever Tevel Leitiv V'Fikin Yonga Na'eziv V'Olam Smerchim V'Thetam V'Sansim V'Volam Osviyei Maritzam Konam V'Kakol V'Odnim Lishmot Sohala V'Vina V'Zezer Mapuko Kara L'Shemesh V'Yivra Or V'Yitkin Surat Havana Shevat Yodimo Kotzelam Tiferet U'Gedulas V'Avimei Ofanim V'Chai Kosak 109. Top half. מה ששלב בכל המעשים, יום השביעי, התעלה, עכשיו יחסית, מזמור שדים לשבת להורות עליי, ותקרא תפה. דברה משיענו, שלמעשה ידעתנו, וימי אור שיעשית יפעלו חסדה. 110. Barak Sorenu, Malkin of Royal Border Kedoshim, Yishtabach, Shemchal, Ad Malkin. Hulam Movim, Hulam Gerurim, Hulam Gibarim, Hulam Osim, the Emat Uberzon Hanam. וכולם בטמפיהם בקדושת התורה, בשירה ובזמרה, ומברכים ושחים, כפרים ארצים ומעמישים, המלכים, אשרי המלך הגדול וברק הקדוש. וכולם מקבלים עליהם עמוק השמיים, זה מזה, ונותנים רשות זה לזה. ישוס ונקת נבואה, וספר ורק ונקדשה, כולם כחת עונים ואומרים בירה, קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוא כל הארץ כבודו. והאופנים וחיות הקודש, ורעש גדול מסמלים הצרפים, ואותם שחים ואומרים, Baruch Kavod Adonai B'Komo. That'll rip them up, you. Or Chadash Al Sion Ta'ir V'Niskeh Kulam Yomer Adoro Baruch Adonai Yotzer HaMe'orot. 111. You'll note at the box there on 111 where it says Vahavi Inu L'Shalom and make Arba conform to Aretz. You see little asterisks there that instructs. There's a little bit of choreography for those of us wearing a talit. Talk about being gathered from the four corners of the universe, and so at that point in the box, we gather the four corners of our talit, our tzitzits, and wrap them around our fingers, as you'll see me do here in a little bit, in preparation for the recitation of the actual Shema. Tanu Adonai Eloheinu. V'haviyenu le'shalom ve'arba kanvot ha'aretz v'torithenu komamiyut de'artzenu Baruch Adonai, Elohim Israel, v'Yahweh. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, v'chol nafshecha, v'chol nafshecha, v'chol me'odecha, v'haynu hadarim la'ele, asher Anochi mitzavecha, hayom al levecha, v'shiranta levanecha, v'vartam, v'shiftecha v'betecha, v'mektecha v'derech, v'shaftecha v'kumecha, v'kshartam le'or al yadecha, v'hayu l'totofot b'neinecha, v'ktartam al mezuzot beitecha, v'yisharecha v'hayam. Yishman al haaretz, v'yuman Moshe, Yisrael ta'alem shulahem tzitzi, tam v'natinu al tzitzi, v'natinu al tzitzi, Ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, lihyot lachem Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem, Emet. Middle of 113. Orvador hukayam ushmo kayam v'chison achon alton v'lek kayam rapaz kayamim v'lak v'lamin v'lotein al harshim emet shatahu Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu Malkeinu melech avoteinu Goaleinu, Goloteinu, Yotzreinu, Tzurishwateinu, Odeinu, Umatzidenu, Elam Shemecha, Ein Elohim, Zulatecha. 14. Ezra Eloteinu, Atahu, Me'olam. Leon Baruch Umara Moshe U'nei Yisrael Asher B'Simcha Yamru Kulam Mi Chamocha V'Elim Adonai Mi Chamocha Ne'ar Ba'odesh Nora Tegilot Osef Shira Hadasha, Shibehu Getubin, Shimta Tafatayam, Yachakudam Hodu, Eimihu V'yameru, Adonai Lo Le'olam Va'ed. So Yisrael, Kuma V'Ezra Yisrael, Uftei Yunecha Yehuda Israel, Go Aleinu, Adonai Tzvaot Shemlo, Kedosh Yisrael, Baruch atah Adonai, Yahweh Yisrael. Page 115B together, page 116 together, continue on silently to the end after 116 through to 120. You may also take some time for some personal private meditations with God, your thoughts. 115B and 116 together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, Elohei Avoteinu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el, Haggadol, Hagibor, Hanarah, Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, V'kamnei Ha'avot, V'zocher Chasdei Avot, U'mehiuel Nebneihem L'ma Shemo Yahava, Nelet Ozer Fukim Mashiach U'magin, Baruch atah Adonai Magin Avraham, Hey Sarah, atah Gibor Devam Adonai, Mefeilit Minatav Hoshia. Mechapel Chaim B'Chesed, Mechayim Eitzim B'Rachamim Rabim, Somek Noflim V'Rofeh Kolim, U'Matzir Asurim, U'Mekayem Emunato, L'Shenei Afar, V'Chamocha Ba'Kibubot, U'Midom Elah, Nekadesh Shemchalam, Geshem Shema Kishimoto B'Shmei Maharom, Kakahatu Vayad V'Yaka, Nekara Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzevachot, Melech Haaretz Kevod. Az bekorash yado, adir b'chazak mashmim kol, Yitnasim li'omat tzevafim, V'otam baruch yomeinu. Baruch Kavod Adonai, Yikomo. Tomacham Pinu Tofia, Zimlach Aleinu Kimechachim Anachnuach, Vataytenu Petzion Mikarav Yameinu Elam Ve'et Yishrom. Yitgadal V'Tfilit Kadash, V'Kol Yerushalayim Nekach, V'Dor Gadol, V'Dor Gadol, Tzad Netzachim. V'Yeinu Tzilena Ma'utecha, Adavaram Shvirei Uzecha. I did having the Shiach Tzikecha, Yidroch Ram Elohai Yitzion, V'Dor Hallelujah. V'Dor Namimon Laka, U'Netzeh Netzakim, V'Shechar Na'ish, V'Shifracha, V'Mevinon L'Shlam Ba'er, Yamal V'Roshata, Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el Kadosh, Yismach Moshe. Yeah. If you are still praying, please continue to do so at your own pace. Kaddish Shalem, 138. Yitkara v'rashmi rabah v'yamah v'yamah v'mitmachutei v'yamah Israel v'alav v'zman v'immeru Amen. Ishmei rabah v'yorah v'yamah Barak Yisrael v'Kram v'Knasei v'Tatar v'Levloshim v'Kudesham v'Tulavim v'Kovatav v'Shiratat v'Shiratat v'Nekvatat v'Yamah v'immeru Amen. Itkabaos lamadon v'Israel v'Dam oven v'Shemaya v'immeru Amen. Yahei Shalom v'Shemaya v'Chaim v'Lev v'Israel v'immeru Amen. Oseh Shalom Nama v'Yaseh Shalom Aleinu v'Kol Israel v'Kol Shvei Tevel v'immeru Amen. You may be seated if you wish. Except for you. All right. Page 139, the Torah Service. So we have completed the Shacharit service, the morning prayer service. Yay! Looks like we made it. And so the Torah service is a centerpiece of special service. It's not done every day. It's done on the Sabbath, both on Saturday morning as well as Saturday afternoon. But it's not. This is the full reading today that we're going to be doing. This is the longer reading that we usually do for the week. There's a couple other times during the week, Mondays and Thursdays, where Torah is read in the morning in synagogues that have services on those days. And this is a little sneak preview of coming attractions for the week. So we're going to get so now we're going to begin the Torah Processional. And of course, we do so by honoring God with a little more singing, beginning on page 139 with Ein Kamocha. You need not rise until the ark is open, where it says we rise as the ark is open on 139.
Ein kamocha ve'elam Adonai ve'ein kama'asecha
Malchut malchut olamim u'mershavtecha b'chol dor v'dor Adonai melech Adonai malach Adonai yibul v'yochar Adonai yoz yamoyitei Adonai yevarech et amor v'shalom Amarachamim eitiva v'irtzoncha et tzidkon Tiveh omot Yerushalayim Tiveh omot Yerushalayim Kirecha levavatanu ve'erom peisah v'erom
Please rise.
So Aaron, Vayomer Moshe, Tomai, Mifutsu Oivecha, Miranusu, Misanecha, Mipanecha, Kibision, Tetzei Torah, Kibision, Tetzei Torah, Loyaror Adonai, Mirushalayim, Baruch Shenatan, Torah, Torah, Baruch Shenatan, Torah, Torah, Le'amor Yisrael, V'Kedushato. Page 140, the box at the top of the page. There's a custom the family wanted to do, and it symbolized the theme of Lador Vador, from generation to generation. So we're going to actually, instead of just handing the Torah straight to Ben, we're going to take it out of the ark, and we're going to hand it through the generations of his family to him. That's a nice matrix move right there. Put that on the right shoulder. Put the right bottom. All right, there you go. Front and center. Great, guys. There's for you. And we're on page 141.
Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Adonai Eloheinu, ve'ishakahu, le'adon ram la'kadosh, Romanu, Adonai Eloheinu, Ve'isamahu, ve'isamahu, le'ar kodesh. Yikadosh Adonai Eloheinu. May be seated. I would say if you wish, but I highly recommend it. Just enough room for this on here. As you guys can tell, we've had some modifications to the normal choreography of our service. Normally there would be a whole processional through with the Sefer Torah, the Torah scroll. Everyone give a little touch, a kiss, there's a mazel tov to them, but due to current protocols, we have to modify some things so we're unable to make the rounds through. So you guys will just have to pay extra good special attention and really fling up those mazel tovs and the Esher Koachs and all those other blessings that we're going to be heaping on them today. So I'm actually going to pull this up. Let's pull this over here just a little bit. I want him to be. We're going to put this a little cattywampus for right now. We're going to move this over just a taste. I'm going to move the podium. We're going to move back to the side. Okay. Because I don't know where people can see you. There. Sure. Grandparents, can you guys go see them okay here? Yeah. Okay. Come on. All right. And Ben has been meticulously preparing some words of Torah in honor of this day, and so he's going to give us a little teaching, all right?
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
This week's parsha for my Bar Mitzvah service is Parsha Bamidbar, the first parsha of the book of Bamidbar, also known as the Book of Numbers. There is a saying that every Jew counts. The parsha begins with God commanding Moses to take a census of all the Israelite men in 11 of the 12 tribes who are over 20 years of age. These are the men who are of age to serve in the army in case the Israelites are attacked while they are traveling through the desert. The total number of these men was 603,550 in all the tribes except for the Levites. The tribe of Levi does not get counted because they are chosen to serve God in the Mishkan, the portable temple, at 1 month old. Part of the tribe of Levi are the Kohanim, the ancient priests who performed the ritual sacrifices for the people, and the rest of the Levites assisted the Kohanim in doing this. Even though the Israelites themselves were freed from slavery, the Levites do not have the freedom to choose what they want to do and are born into doing these specific jobs. Just because the people were free did not mean that everyone got to do what they wanted to do. Freedom is when people have the right to be happy, but rules are needed. If you want something, you have to obey the rules and have to work for it to get it. You can be free as long as it doesn't hurt anyone else's freedom. There are rewards for good decisions, but consequences for bad ones, even though you can still do them. If you make bad decisions and the consequences are very harsh, you're more likely not to make those bad decisions. If you're rewarded for your good choices, you'll probably choose to make more good choices. Sometimes you have to make sacrifices to get something that you want. You have the freedom to pursue it. So freedom is being able to obtain what you want, but you don't automatically get it. You have to work for it. If you want to excel at one thing, you may have to sacrifice other things to get good at it. For example, if you want to get better at a sport, you have to sacrifice the time you're spending on other things to put the time into the sport you're trying to improve. A personal experience that I've had recently is that I used to ski, but I wanted to be a snowboarder instead. But I had never tried it, so I put away my skis and rented a snowboard. Then I practiced a lot and now I'm better at it. I also decided to pick up skateboarding. This was a recent choice. I had never done it before a few months ago. So in doing this, I may have put a few hours into skateboarding when I probably should have been studying and preparing for my bar mitzvah. Sometimes sacrifices that need to be made. I have learned that having freedom also means having responsibilities. Through the years of my Jewish education, there are two concepts that have really stuck out to me. One of the first things Jewish kids are taught when they are young is tikkun olam, which means repairing the world. We should work to make the world a better place. The other is the concept of tzedakah. Although we think of tzedakah as charity, it actually translates as justice. Jewish people have experienced bullying in the past throughout history, over and over again, as well as today. So Jews have learned the importance of social justice in standing up to the people who are being wronged. An example of this is during the Civil Rights Movement. Black people were being mistreated, and many Jews fought for them to have the same rights as white people. Jewish people helped to fight for equal rights for Black Americans who were being oppressed, and in doing this, they were working to make the world a better place. An example of this is that there was a rabbi named Abraham Joshua Heschel who escaped the Holocaust. Not only is he a very important leader to the Jews, but also to people like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Rabbi Heschel marched with Dr. King and others in Selma, Alabama during the Civil Rights Movement. His story shows that with the right mindset, you can help others to regain any freedom that may have been lost or has been taken away. When we see someone who is being bullied, it is up to us to do something about it, whether that is telling an adult or getting involved ourselves. If we see someone else's freedom being taken away, we should step in and help them. I would like to conclude by saying a few words to show my gratitude to friends and family. First of all, thank you to all the people supporting me today, whether here in person or watching from far away. With COVID still an issue and safety being a concern, we made the difficult decision to have our loved ones tune in from far away. It really means a lot to me to have you with me in spirit. Thank you to everyone for taking the time out of your day to be here for me. I would like to say thank you to all my past teachers from JFNA Preschool, Eitz Chaim, and Temple Israel Hebrew Schools, who started me on the path of my Jewish journey and helped to guide me in learning about the Jewish holidays and culture, and taught me the different prayers and how to read Hebrew. And especially, I would like to give a big thank you to Maura Karen and Rabbi Jeremy for spending so much time with me, working with me, and helping me to prepare to reach this big milestone in my life. At first, when I realized I only had a year to prepare for today, I thought I would never be able to do it and thought it was going to be very difficult. But now, because of their support and guidance, I've been able to accomplish today. To my grandparents, Pappy, I wish you could be here to celebrate with me, but I know you are here with me in spirit. Bubby and Grandpa and Joe, I love that you were able to travel here to be with me today. Thank you for providing so much love and support. A huge thank you goes out to my sisters Rebecca and Sophie. You guys have also really helped me out a lot with this and given me support when I needed it. I am lucky to call you family. And lastly, thank you to Mom and Dad for being here for me today, every step of the way, for having me practice. 10 o'clock at night for bringing me for this day. And encouraging me. To encouraging me to continue with my studies, even on the days I did not think I wanted to continue this path forward. I am thankful that you motivated me to push through and uncertainty and showing me that it would all be worth it. You are right. Shabbat Shalom.
Let's go on.
Right. One of the things that we say when someone delivers something, a very nice speech like that, we say yasher koach, which literally means straight strength, but it's our way of kind of saying it's well done, job well done. You showed a lot of strength in doing that, so very well done. And so now we are going to continue with our Torah service, which begins. We're in the other blue book, the bigger blue book, which is called the Chumash, the 5 books of the Torah. And we are beginning on page 574. We're in the book of Numbers, the end of chapter 2, verses 32 through 34.
V'yizor v'yogen v'yoshia, l'chol v'ansimbo, v'nomar,
Amen.
Hakol havu godel Eloheinu, v'tenu kavod l'Torah, in kan kohen, ta'amod, Rachel bar Chaim Yosef halevi v'Leah, b'mkom kohen, v'rok shenotar Torah li'amo Yisrael b'tushato.
Page 574, chapter 2, verses 32 through 34.
Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch
Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Elef, Ibn Israel levet avotam, kol pekudei hamachanot litzvotam, 600,000, ושלושת אלפים וחמש מאות וחמישים, והלווים לא הקפקו בתוך בני ישראל כאשר ציווה אדוני את משה, ויעשו בני ישראל ככל אשר ציווה אדוני את משה, כי אם קנו לגדולה להם וכן נשאו איש למשפחותיו על בית אבותיו.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Ta'amo Marino Kaya Sarah Bar Yitzchak Vehinda Shehid.
The second aliyah is found at the bottom of page 574, the third chapter of the book of Numbers, verses 1 through 4.
Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch
Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Ve'elet Adol Haron U'Moshe Bayom Diber Adonai Et Moshe Behar Sinai Ve'elet Shmot B'nei Haron Shmot B'nei Haron before Nadav Ve'avihu Elazar Ve'itamar Ele Shmot B'nei Haron HaKohanim Hamshuchim Asher Melei Adam Lechahen Vayamad Nadav Ve'avihu Adonai B'Hakravim Eshara Lifnei Adonai B'Midbar Sinai Uvanim Lo Hayu Lachem Ve'echahen Elazar Ve'itamar Al B'nei Aharon
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam natan b'tocheinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Yamandu, Natan Hassan ben Mendel, Vachana, Kaya bat Idol, Chili Sheet.
Stays right there. And the third aliyah is the book of Numbers, page 575, chapter 3, verses 5 through 7. It's a shorty. All right.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'nan lanu es Torah Baruch atah Adonai nosein haTorah.
Amen. Amen. Vaydaber Adonai Moshe lemor. Achrei v'matei Levi v'amarta ha'ota lifnei Aharon HaKohen v'shetu oto v'shamru et mishmarto v'mishmeret kol hayda lifnei Ohel Moed la'avod et avodat HaMishkan.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher nanu lanu Torah Service v'chayei shalom nosein v'sukeinu. Baruch atah Adonai nosein haTorah.
Amen. Number 4. I am number 4. No, I'm not number 4. No. I just wanted to say that.
Ta'amod, Kana Rivka bat Miriam Golda, Gershon, Rivied.
I got it. Sorry, I stole it. I had mine and yours. Never mind. I don't need that anymore. Take that back. All right. Fourth aliyah. Page 575.
Baruch Adonai Hamborach.
Baruch Adonai
Baruch Adonai Hamborach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu
Eloheinu melech haolam, asher בחר בנו מכל העמים, ונתן לנו את תורתו. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Amen. Amen. Vishamru, Golei Ohel Moed, Mishmeret Bnei Yisrael la'avod et avodat hamishkan, v'natata et Leviim Aharon ubanav nitunim hema lo me'ed Bnei Yisrael yet Aharon v'banav tivkod Veshamru et ketunatam v'hazar ha'krev yumat.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nafcha b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Amen. This, by the way, someone standing here by themselves like that means this is the new way of showing that someone left you hanging. So if you ever are you out and about, you see a bunch of people like that, that's what that means.
Yamandu, Gershon ben Avraham v'Sarah, v'Miriam Golda bat Natam Hashem v'Chana, Chamishi.
Get over here. Come on down. I realized that meant to be joking, but I sounded more like Scorpion.
Yeah, I was going for it.
Come on down. We're in the next one. Okay. Page are we on?
Page 575, line 11 through 13.
All right. Where do I begin? Not that I have any of those page numbers right there.
Baruch Adonai HaBarak.
Baruch Adonai Barak Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaBarak Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Vaydaber Adonai al Moshe lemor va'ani hinei lahachti et haleviim mitoch bnei Yisrael tachat kol bechor et erechem mibnei Yisrael v'hiyu li haleviim Tili kol bechor b'yom koti kol bechor be'eretz Mitzrayim Nikdashti li kol bechor Yisrael ve'dat behema li yu ani Adonai.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam natan b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Amen. Right. What's that?
You're leaving him hanging.
Maybe I want. I want to see how dedicated you are to this. Actually, hold on a second, guys, because I have a special blessing for you. I can just go over here. I say a blessing, you say uh-oh.
He said don't go anywhere.
Oh. Was this like a
Stay after class.
Oh, I gotcha. Yep. Not that I would know from experience. I need the sheet. I'll grab mine. I got my own. I do my own thing. All right, guys. This is in honor of this occasion here. I'm going to offer you guys a special mishaber, a special blessing in honor of having raised Ben to the point of becoming a bar mitzvah. Mishaberach avotenu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov v'imotenu Sarah Rachel v'Leah Hu Yivarek, Yerusha min Avram Basara, Miriam Golda bat Nathan, Hashem B'chana. Arei, Avagor Avar Mitzvah, Keshem Shizaku L'Gadelet, Edvenat Hayom Hazeh, Keinu L'Hamshiv L'Hadri, Edvenam L'Hiod Bein Eman Am Yisrael, HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yechazkeim, Yamatzeim, Yivarcheim, B'chesed U'B'Shalom, Venomar Amen. May God have blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah. Bless Greg and Debbie, parents of Ben, who becomes a bar mitzvah, who celebrates becoming a bar mitzvah today. They thank you for the strength you have granted them to raise their child so that he could reach this time. Guide them to recognize their child's new responsibilities among the Jewish people. Bless them with joy and fulfillment on this and every day. And let us say, Amen. Mazel tov, you guys. There's gonna be more to come. More to come with the singing and the blessing here. So stay tuned. And after his Leah, you guys come back. I miss you back for the full name. We are now going to pause to offer another Misha Berach. Misha Berach means really means the one who blesses. And we have a special Misha Berach for the Cholim, for those who are ill and in need of healing. We have the prayer that we use is actually Debbie Friedman's Misha Berach, which there are copies of it in the back on the table, prominently displayed. But if you know it by heart, you may also sing along. We are asking, and I have a list of names here. If any of you have anyone else who is not on our list that you'd like to include for healing in any way, shape, or form, please feel free to raise your hand, stand in your place, and I will come to you in the order that I have you, and you can insert those names that you also have in mind. We're asking for healing for Yehudit, Dina Bat Chayefega B'Shaul Zeleh, Revelaya B'Shmu Yisrael, Hannah Michaela Bat Yocheved, Fong Musikoff, Marianne Griffin, Linda Setcast, Anita Mandel Diamond, Wendy Schwartz, Hayafega Batsara, Aragitzat Itamar Ben Shingle, Lauren Lara, Rob Kugler, Eliyahu Raphael Ben Cyril Kuba, Bill Griffin, Chet Mankang, Randy Morrison, Shalom Wolf Ben Norton Fein, and Edward Schwartz. Any other names? Karen. Also on this side here, Steve. This way. Back this way. Rachel first. What about Gary? Anyone else? All right. We turn to the words of Debbie Friedman's Misha Berach. Misha
May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu, Mekor HaBracha, bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, renewal of body, renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. May they have a refuah shlema, a speedy, complete healing of mind, body, and soul. And as always, we ask the Holy One to tend to those who tend to them. We are now continuing with the 6th Aliyah in our Torah reading. I'll grab my card, not David's card. And we're on page 576, the book of Numbers, chapter 3, verses 14 through 16. You don't have to yell Adrian.
Can I see your,
You got one right there.
I want to see this. Yes. Yamor, 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 Abakor Abar Mitzvah, Yalaya Shishi, Mendel Melach Ben Gershom Ben Miriam Golda, Yamor. Just mine are yours.
Well, that's your,
Oh, you'll take your book? Right, you have your, is your yacht too far from the car? I had to. All right. Good place. Yes, he does. Okay, so you're going to tell us, you're going to take the front two seats in your car. Give it a kiss. And then when you're ready, I shall laugh.
Baruch et Adonai Hamora.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamora Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Adonai.
Baruch Adonai.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Elohein ha'olam.
Amen.
Vayedaber Adonai El Moshe Bamidbar Sinai Lemor Tekod et B'nai Levi Levet Avotam Lemishpachotam Kol Zachar Kodesh
Miden Kodesh?
Miben Kodesh Vamala Tifkadem Vayifkod Otam Moshe Al Pi Adonai Ka'asher Tzuvah.
Touch the kiss next to where you finished. Well, close that up for you. You're ready? Say goodbye.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan Torah temet v'haye olam nasa b'shokeinu. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. All right, guess what? You get a special blessing too. Woohoo! That is the only proper response to that. I only had like 2 pots of coffee this morning. I don't know why I'm so amped up. Like Matt Foley. All right. Mishaberach Avoteinu Abraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov Imotenu Sarah Rivka Aleha Ko Yivarek Mendel Malach Ben Gershon Miriam Golda Sheyal Mitzvot V'Alav Likvod HaMakom Likvod HaTorah Likvod HaShabbat HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yishmerehu Yachayehu Yehonein Elibolio Shalem Imam Adonai Elohav V'Hagod B'Torato V'Lamechet B'Drachav V'Shmor Mitzvotav V'Shlach Brachav V'Tzlachav V'Chol Ma'aseh Yadav Yishku Horav V'Gadol L'Torah V'Chol Masim Tovim V'Imsahein Yisechel Tov V'Enei Elohim V'Adam V'Nomar Amen. May God have blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah. Bless Ben, who has come for Emilia upon reaching the age of Mitzvot, with reverence for God, respect for the Torah, and Shabbat. May the Kadosh Baruch Hu, the Holy Blessed One, protect and sustain Ben, helping him to be wholehearted in his faith, to study Torah, and fulfill mitzvot, and to walk in God's ways. May his parents rear him to maturity, guiding Ben to the blessings of Torah, chuppah, and the life of masim tovim, good deeds. May he find favor before God in the community, and let us say, Amen. All right. I'm just going to take a moment to address Ben, and you guys can feel free to listen in if you like. I'm actually going to pull my phone over here, just in case it's a little too hard to hear, especially over all the lovely spring noises of motorcycles in the air. Ben, as you mentioned in your Devar Torah, when we initially set the date for your bar mitzvah, you didn't feel so good about doing all this. You weren't, you're like, no. You were, I think it's fair to say you felt a little overwhelmed, didn't you? By the prospect of getting up here in front of people and reading some Torah, giving a talk that you yourself wrote, that we worked on together, and helping to lead parts of the service. But as time went on, we got to work with each other in the class together when I was with you guys before we had to shut down. And so we got to know each other a little bit then. We started working on some things there as a class. And then after the shutdown happened, we had some issues getting together at first, but then eventually we made it happen. And we started meeting, and you were adamant that you wanted to still do this date, which has been a hallmark of a lot of your classmates, especially those who were affected after dealing with the COVID shutdown, which I believe Jake is here. Yes, he is. He was the one your classmate who was batting lead off as far as the COVID services. But you guys all said, no, we still want to do something. We still want to mark the occasion of becoming a bar mitzvah. And that's a tremendously adult thing to do. That's what becoming a bar mitzvah is all about, is you're at the age where you can make mature decisions for yourself. And that's exactly what you did. You decided, I still want to do this. It's not about the party stuff and all that. It's about celebrating what I've become in the eyes of Jewish tradition. And despite your anxiety, despite your nervousness, you said you wanted to read some Torah. You still wanted to do something. So we weren't quite able to give you the trope, but you still learned how to read biblical Hebrew with no vowels or punctuation. That's a lot to bite off in one bite. That's a lot to do. And you started working with Maura, Karen, and I. She had you one night of the week, and sometimes two. I would meet with you one night of the week, and we were going to Torah reading. You and I were working in Devar Torah. And as you made it, you kind of joked about it. You talked about sacrificing time, and maybe you shouldn't have been doing so much skateboarding, But you still made the time to practice. You still sacrificed your time, and it showed every week to the point where. I don't know if you guys know anything about, there's a book I have up here called a tikkun, which is what when you're practicing to read from, an aliyah from the Torah, that's what you practice out of. There's a right-hand column and a left-hand column. The right-hand column has all the vowels, has the musical notation, has the punctuation, it's easy to read. Guess what? You don't have any of that in here. No vowels, no nothing. Vowels were invented much later. If Wheel of Fortune existed back then, there was no buying a vowel because you didn't have them. You just kind of knew them. And so we had been practicing on the right-hand side of the page. And one day, I surprised you, didn't I? I said, let's try the first verse on the left-hand side of the page. The side with no vowels. The side that looks more like it does in here. And you're like, all right, I think I can do it. And then you did it. Pretty well, too. I said, hey, you want to roll? Let's do the next verse. All right, you did it. And then you kind of paused and looked at me like, you want me to do the third verse, don't you? I said, yes, I do. Let's give it a go. We're on a roll. And it was, was it perfect? No. But you got it. You got through it. And I told you right then and there, if we had been in synagogue reading that as part of your service, that would have been a great reading. And you did really good with the words that, the one word that I saw you smile because it had been a problem with you, and then Maura, Karen had been working with it. Remember which word that was? That word is burned into your brain forever, buddy. I have things in my brain that I remember, I don't know why. Long division is not one of them. You too, that has replaced something. I don't know what it is yet, but that the Mishpat Tam is etched in there. And it's because you practice, you sacrifice time to do that. And sacrifice, what sacrificing is, both in the biblical sense and the religious sense, and even what we're talking about right now, you're giving up something that is precious to you. Our ancestors, when they sacrificed those animals, were giving up something that was very precious to them. That was their wealth. You were giving up something else, something that actually can never be given back in some ways, which is your time. Time is a non-renewable resource. Once it's gone, it's gone. And so you chose to sacrifice your time. You gave up something for a higher purpose, which is what a sacrifice is. And you chose to practice every day your Torah reading. You chose to work in your Devar Torah. You chose to practice giving your Devar Torah, which you did very well with. I think everyone here thinks so as well. So I just want to honor what an amazing example you set as far as what it means to become a true bar mitzvah, which literally means a son of the commandments. You are now fully obligated to the commandments. No running away now. But it also, not that you're going to, but it does mean that you have these obligations, and you've acknowledged that by the fact that you put all this work in here today. So I want to wish you a very hearty Yasher Koach on doing such a wonderful job of putting all that hard work in and setting such a wonderful example to all of us here as to what it means to truly be a fully fledged member of the commandments. I wish you Yasher Koach. All right. And I think once the motorcycle goes by and stops serenading us, how many of those are out there? Now there's another, I mentioned another blessing that is appropriate. We said Hatova Hamiti, which is what you say when you hear good news, when there's something good happens. We said that, we kicked everything off of that. And there's another special blessing that we say called the Shehefiyanu, which you say it when you arrive at a first. This has Ben's first time being called up to the Torah, and so this is an appropriate occasion for that. So for those of you who know it, please feel free to recite along. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehafiyanu v'kiyimanu v'hidiyanu l'azman hazeh. Blessed are you, Lord God, ruler of the universe, who has given us life, who has sustained us, and who has brought us to this moment. Does anyone know what a good song might be to sing right now? Oh, I heard a few. And if Ben's family would like to come up and maybe celebrate with them, that would be okay too, guys. Sing it out, mazel tov, mazel tov, sing it out, mazel tov, mazel tov, sing it out. Yehelanu, 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 Kol Yisrael. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Kol Yisrael. I do just want to also take a moment now, and I want to address your parents as well. So Greg and Debbie were actually students in the first iteration here of the Introduction to Judaism course that I taught, the Miller Introduction to Judaism course, which is from my alma mater, Ziegler, and Los Angeles. And you guys were some of my, you guys were it was a great class, it was a great group. And some of your fellow former students are here as well. You guys just go, whoop, whoop. The kids still do that, right? But you guys were so very actively engaged and involved. You guys were always, I don't know whether because the time you showed up or not, but you're always sitting in front, so all the back seats were taken up. But you guys were always front and center. And you guys helped make the class a very wonderful experience. You guys, I told you guys just how nice it is to have you guys there. That was my enjoyment to get to teach that as well. To get to know you guys through learning with you. And Greg, you decided that you liked it so much that you're now wearing some regalia here, and you got to celebrate as well becoming a bar mitzvah, just like Ben just did. A little older, but you know what? Ain't nothing wrong with that. I became a bar mitzvah at 26, so double bar mitzvah age. I'm surprised I did that math in my head so quick. I'm really proud. The smoke's coming out, so pardon me, the alarm might go off. But I just want to acknowledge you guys led by example. That's what you guys do for your kids. You guys were actively engaged in your learning. As part of it was you guys wanted to know, like, what are our kids learning in school? What is it they're doing? But as you went about it, it became, I think a lot of it became for you and your own life. It became important to you, and that's what Judaism is all about, is leading by example. There's a saying in the IDF, Israeli Defense Forces, "Acharai," which means after me, follow me. So everyone is considered to be a leader in their own right. If you see something that needs to be done, you do it. You take the initiative. You guys took the initiative, and because of that, I think you guys have set a wonderful example of how that true Lador Vador, how you're passing Jewish heritage and culture and learning and wisdom of over 3,000 years through the generations of your family. So I want to just acknowledge that and congratulate you guys on setting such a wonderful example as well.
And we did enjoy your class. We took a second round of it.
Yes, you did. Yeah, we
The
did
torturous part.
it was all Hebrew. That's how you know that I really suckered him in the first time. It's like, oh, you're doing all Hebrew. That sounds great. No idea. Run, young Jedi, run. So, but no, seriously, thank you guys. All right, so with that, I would like to invite our synagogue president, Josh Nathan, to come up. He offers to offer a few words on behalf of the board and then the congregation. You stay up. Almost.
Congratulations, Ben. You've done a great job today. On behalf of the board and the members of Temple Israel, I wanted to present to you a chumash, actually, that you can have in your own home to reference and look through in the coming years as you continue your studies, because there's lots more to learn, really until the end. So, but this is a great parsha for talking about teachers. There's a lot of emphasis in this parsha about teaching and the importance of teaching. And Moshe was the original teacher, and he transmitted the Torah to the Jews in the desert. And the Levites, who you talked about in your Devar Torah, they were given the task ultimately of helping him out in spreading the word of the Torah. Mostly because they were the ones that came, when Moshe came down and found everybody dancing around the golden calf and said, "Who's with me?" and God, the Levites were the first ones to come, the tribe of Levi. And so they were given that responsibility to ultimately take care of the Mishkan and become the Kohens. And so there's a lot of emphasis on the importance of teaching. In fact, our sages actually say that if you have your teacher and your parent captive, and you can only choose one, you're actually supposed to choose the teacher. And that's just to emphasize how important the teaching is. And the Hebrew roots for Torah, the Hebrew root within the word Torah and parents and teachers, all the same. So the Torah is really a teacher and a guide for life, and it has many things that pertain very much so to our lives today, and could be a very important guide for you going forward in your life. So I wanted to congratulate you, and looking forward to reading some more Torah with you as well. So anyway, here you go.
Now invite Ben's teacher, or Karen, to come up and present on behalf of class and the school.
Then, we're going to go Monday nights. I don't know what I'm going to do now.
Learn to skateboard.
Yeah, I've asked him. He's told me about learning to skateboard, learning to snowboard, throwing discus, his track.
Oh yeah, there's that.
Yeah, we've had a lot of good conversations, and a lot of those conversations have been on Monday nights. A lot of those conversations have also been in our class on Sunday mornings. One advantage of COVID has been that you and Newton don't sit next to each other and giggle for the entire morning. But I did hear in your Devar Torah a lot of what we've talked about this year as a class. We talked about teaching alone, preparing the world, tzedakah. And in honor of that, I want to present you with a tzedakah box. It's an actual box that you can customize for you. For collecting tzedakah to donate to your favorite charities, no matter what they may be. This is up to you. It's been an honor to work with you. There were times I didn't think we would get here. I am very proud of you and the work that you've put in. We've done things like in preparing Ben for his bar mitzvah and doing the work we did. We couldn't get in here. And I wanted to have the kids practice holding the Torah. We couldn't get here to do it. Ben held his drum set, his desk chair. What else? A stuffed animal? No, I'm gonna just have somebody else has a stuffed animal. But he waited whatever he could find in his room so that he could, when he was doing Shema, he could be up there holding something and feel comfortable doing it. So we made our ways through it. Ben, mazel tov to you, mazel tov to your parents, to your sisters, your grandparents. It's been an honor to work with you. Keep it up, my friend. Good job.
And mom and dad, your turn.
Ben, Dad and I are so proud of you. We know that the road to get here was long, starting many years ago when you had Hebrew school on Tuesday nights back at that time. And then the family chose to join Temple Israel, and suddenly you were no longer allowed to sleep in on Sundays because the 5 of us were coming here, learning, growing, meeting some new friends here. And there were many days when you just did not want to go. When you asked us, why do I have to go to Hebrew school? We didn't always have an answer you wanted to hear. Sometimes it was Dad and I trying to explain to you that someday you will understand why this is also important. Someday you will be grateful that you did this. That the history, the culture, and the traditions that have been passed down from generation to generation will have meaning to you. That hopefully you will experience this with your own children. So, getting here was not always easy, was it? There were days that even though you did not want to get up early and come here, you still did. And you studied, and you worked hard, and you matured, and eventually you did come to understand the significance and the importance of this. And we know that right here today, you are happy that you did. We also know that this is not the end of your Jewish journey, but something meant to lead you to the next step. It is such a big accomplishment, and we hope that you are also proud. Then, you sure do like to keep us on our toes. You have an energy that is endless, a laugh that is contagious, and a spirit that is large. When you were younger, I used to say you had 2 speeds, on and off. Asleep or running. Always speeding around and practically doing laps in the kitchen because you had this boundless energy. I wanted to harness it somehow, maybe power the world with it. Even on the day you were born, you clearly decided to make your debut in your own terms. We had plans to bring Rebecca to her first day of preschool, yet another important milestone for parents. But you were determined. We had to quickly get to the hospital instead. So Dad drove like a madman to get there. There was morning traffic, and I think Dad passed a school bus in the wrong lane, trying to signal that we were really in a hurry. Breaking laws. And then you pulled up to the hospital. You left the car in an awkward spot, and you threw them the keys. And we rushed in. And not long after arriving at the hospital, you made your grand entrance into the world. And our world has only been better since that day. There are so many ways that you make the world a better place. You have a really positive outlook on life, and you love to have fun. We've watched you grow up on Lake Winnipesaukee in the summertime. Whether it's fishing off the dock or paddling around with your kayak, you know how to find the things that you enjoy and bring you happiness. One of the things that I really admire about you is that when you find something you're passionate about, you work really hard to perfect it. In your Devar Torah, you spoke about having to make sacrifices to achieve your goals. I know you've only just started skateboarding, but you're picking it up quickly, trying over and over and over again to hit the rail or whatever it's called, pick up a new trick. That is the true definition of grit. Hopefully that same passion and persistence will be put to good use when you are older. And when you find what it is that makes you happy in your career, you will have great success. I think if you keep pushing the way that you do now, you will have a bright future ahead of you. I must say, it isn't always easy being the only boy in the family, sandwiched between two bossy sisters. but you seem to manage just fine. I love how even though there are times that you argue with each other, annoy each other, and drive each other crazy, you are also fiercely loyal to each other. You defend them when it counts, and you are always there for them. I have seen you cheer your sisters on through each of their successes and pick them up when the going gets tough. I think you've learned a thing or two about how things can be tough. This year has challenged all of us. It has required us to change our ways, do things outside the box, and be flexible, because this past year, things were changing by the minute. You seem to roll with it pretty easily, though. I watched as you switched gears and adapted to the new environment. I know that this year has been a big lesson in resilience for you, for everyone really, but this was an important year for you. In your studies, you have learned that nothing was easy for your ancestors, but just like them, you are entering your Jewish adulthood honoring sacrifices, showing strength, and moving the faith forward no matter what the obstacles. It doesn't get more Jewish than that. So on this special day where we celebrate your achievement of becoming a bar mitzvah, we also celebrate the person that is you. Even though the way we are celebrating you today is different than what we imagined over a year ago when we selected this date, and even though not all of your loved ones are here in this room celebrating with you in person, please know that all of your friends and family are so proud of you. We will celebrate you in person when it is safe to do so. For now, we say, Mazel Tov, Ben, we love you.
We continue with the reading of the seventh leader, page 576, lines 17 through 20. And Ya'amod Marino Harav Yemiyahu Ben Abraham V'Sarah Shvi'i.
That's me. You're gonna show me where it is? Come on, on the table, actually. Of course he does. Look at that. Baruch Adonai Hamorach. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher b'chavan mikol hamim natan lanu et torto. Baruch Adonai noten haTorah. Amen.
B'nai Levi, Yishmotam, Gershon, Ikat, Unavi. Be'eleh Shemu, B'nai Gershon, Lemishpachotam, Livni, Shimi, Ubnei, Kehat, Lemishpachotam, Amram, Yitzhak, Hebron, Uziel, Ubnei, Merari, Lemishpachotam, Machli, Mushi, Eleh, Haim, Mishpachot, Halevi, Levei, Avotam.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam atah b'tocheinu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Hallelujah. Hang on a second. Look up for a little bit. Whoa.
Ya'amod, Gershon ben Avraham v'Sarah Hamadiyah. Ya'amod, Natan Hashem ben Mendel Hagaleled. Excuse me. Galilel.
We rise for the lifting and tying of the Sefer Torah. Lift a little bit.
V'zot HaTorah asher tzal Moshe B'nei Yisrael Torah tzivanu Moshe Torah tzivanu Moshe Torah, 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 Tzivanu Moshe. Torah, 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 Tzivanu Moshe. Torah Shakeh Virat Yaakov, Torah Shakeh Virat Yaakov, Torah Shakeh Virat Yaakov, Torah Tzivanu Moshe.
There we go. The fold, and there's another fold, and that clue will lead to another clue. You know what? There we go. There we go. Ancient riddle. How many Jews does it take to dress for? All.
Yes.
Overboard.
Yeah.
No. Set that right back. You may be seated. You're holding my train. Right. I guess I'll read a Haftarah while I'm up here. All right, the Haftarah, the reading from one of the, there's a custom of also reading from the book, one of the books of the prophets, that has to do something with the Torah reading for the week. And this week, it's on page 582. It's from the book of Hosea, chapter 2, verses 1 through 22. And there's sort of a, so if you want to, by the way, you feel free to, at the beginning of the Haftarah on page 581, there's sort of an interesting commentary here that kind of that takes you into some of the themes inherent in this week's Haftarah reading. Again, page 582 for the actual reading, Hosea chapter 2, verses 1 through 22. This. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar gvim tovim ratzav livreihem amrim emet Baruch atah Adonai Al-Acher b'Torah u'Moshe amo u'Yisrael amo u'B'Ha'emet v'Tzedek V'haya mispar Yisrael kehol hayam asher lo yimad lo yisafer v'haya mimkom asher yamir lahem lo amiyatem v'yamir lahem b'nei el-chai v'nibetzu B'nei Yehuda B'nei Yisrael yachdav v'samu lahem rosh echad v'alu min haaretz ki gadol yom Yisrael imru arechahem ami lachotehem ruchama rivu Imchem rivu ki lo yishiv anochi lo yishach v'taser znuet neha mivageha v'na'afufeha mibein tzadea ein afshiten la'aruma v'hi zaltiha keyom Yivaldav Santiha Kamikar Shatiha Ke'eret Tiva Amitiha B'Tzama Atzama Yadvaneha Aratein Even Nezunim Hema Ki Zanta Imama Oh, Visharatan ki amra el kafare avai nonne latmi mai samri uvishti shani vishikuya lachein shine together Vasirim Vegariti Egnikra Undivoteya Lodimsa Ridva Nahaveha Lotasi Otam Vikshatam Lotimsa Amra Elchav Shuval Ishi Harishon Kitov Di Azai Meata Vehi Lo Yana Ki Yafin Tatiwa Adagan Hatiro Shai Yitzhar Chasef Yirbeti Lav Ezav Asulavau Lavau Lachei Ashu Lakaki Vito Richard Hiroshi Moado Moado Isati Tamri Vishi the Castle Ervata Vata Alenabuta Avea Veish Boyet Enumi Miadi Matin Gomish Mesosach Aga Adasha Vishachtach Vechol Ada Ashimoti Gafna Uteinata Asher Amra Hemali Asher Nanuli Mehavai Vesamti Liyar Achal Latam Chayat HaSadeh Umagati aleha egemei alim asher daftir lahem v'ta'anisma v've'ata v'teiled arein haveha v'otishachad imaranai lachei hineni anochi mefateha Oaktiha Hamidbar Vedimarti Aliba Natati Mula Meha Misham Edemekapor Lafetakikwa Venta Shama Kimei Ureha Vetuchio Mer Pitrai, Yahabaya, Abu, Nebumaranai, Nekri, She, Otikri, Old, Ali, Ashiroti, Eshmod Ali, Piha, Oizar, Ru'o, Vishmam, Rati Lahem. Read by Yom Kayat Sadeh in all Hashemayim Ve'edes Adama Keshet Ve'fer Lunatama Eshbor Min Haaret Ishkavtim Vavetach Ve'eras Tichuli Le'olam Tichuli Ve'eret U'Mishpat U'V'Chesed V'Rachamim Eras Tichuli Ve'emunah Ve'anata Et Adonai. Baruch Atah Adonai Melech Olam Circle Amim Tzedek Hadarot I'll have Neman, Amer Yosei, Hamdaber Kaim, Shechol Barak, and Metbat Sedek, Ne'eman, Atahu Eloheinu, Nani Derecha, V'Dvar Echav Barecha, Acharei Ashuvrekam, Yamalek Ne'eman Ravanata, Baruch Atah Adonai, Ne'eman B'chol Devarao, Amen. Rachel, Asim Kibek Chayinu, L'Avod Nefesh Toshia, V'Rabbeinu, Baruch Atah Adonai, V'Savek Zion B'Baneha, Zamkeinu, Adonai Eloheinu, Eliyahu Hanavi Abdecha, U'Malchut Beit David Meshichecha, V'Meira Yavo, V'Yagel Libeinu, Al Yisrael Yeshem Zar, V'Inchalut Ot Achari Ekvodahu, Yivshem Koshachayim Mishpatalo, Shelo Yipei Nevo Le'olam Va'ed, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen David. Ala Torah, Yal Ha'avodah, Yal Nabim, Yal Yom HaShabbat Hazeh, V'natata Lanu Adonai Eloheinu, L'Kedusha, L'Chavod, L'Tifaret, Al HaKol, Adonai Eloheinu, Anachnu Modim Lach, V'orchim Otach, Yed HaRashim V'Avachim Kochai, Tamid Le'olam Va'ed, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Yiskadav, Shmei Rabba.
Amen.
Yom Adiva Kyusen, Yom Lik Machulten, V'chai Yikon, V'mei Kon, V'chai Dekol Beis Yisrael, V'agalav Uzman Karev, V'yimu.
Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba V'Hora, V'yolam V'Maya,
V'yishabav, Yisporav, V'sharam, V'shnasei, V'yisadav, V'yisalev, V'yisalav, Shmet Kudsha, V'reku, Leila, Menkol Pachata, V'shirata, Tush Pachata, V'nechumata, Damiram V'yamah, V'yamu.
Amen. I'd like to invite Frank's mother to come up and lead us responsibly in a prayer for peace.
Page 149.
Yes, we are now back in the smaller blue book. You can take one of the bigger ones, that's fine. Yeah, you're fine. Come on up. Okay, come on.
A prayer for peace. May we see the day when the war and the bloodshed cease, when a great peace will embrace the whole world.
The nation will not threaten the nation, and mankind will not again know war.
For all who live on earth shall realize we have not come into being to hate or destroy. We have come into being to praise, to labor, and to love.
Compassionate God, bless the leaders of all nations with the power of compassion.
Fulfill the promise conveyed in Scripture. I will bring peace to the land, and you shall lie down, and no one shall terrify you. Let love and justice flow like a mighty stream. Let peace fill the earth as the waters fill the sea. And let us say,
Amen.
And in light of what's been going on in Israel, you guys have been keeping up with the news, there have been hundreds of rockets lobbed in per day. I have many friends and loved ones who are there right now who have been spending the past several nights sleeping in their bomb shelters. Because in Israel, the reality is most homes have bomb shelters. So I'd like to invite Barry Shepherd to come up and lead us on the top of page 149 for a prayer for Medina, Israel, a prayer for the state of Israel.
Avinu, Shei Bashamayim, Rock and Redeemer of the people of Israel. Bless the state of Israel with its promise of redemption. Shield it with your love. Spread over it the shelter of your peace. Guide its leaders and advisors with your light and your truth. Help them with their good counsel. Strengthen the hands of those who defend our holy land. Deliver them, crown their efforts with triumph. Bless the land with peace and its inhabitants with lasting joy. And let us say,
Amen.
Thank you, Barry. Pages 151 and 152. Ashrei. The rabbis like this psalm so much they put it in twice in the morning service. Ashrei Yoshevetaka, Odeh Chasavah. Tehillah David, Arnim Elohai HaMelech, Rechacha Shemcha Elam Va'ed. Elohai Hula Me'od, V'Ligata Ein Cheker. Adaka V'Hodecha, B'Vrei Nefiltecha Asika. Zecharotecha Yabiu, B'Shitchatecha Yiranenu. Tov Adonai Lakol, V'Rachmat Al Ma'asav. Lo Matocha Yomeru, V'Rotecha Yiraberu. Malchutam Kol Olamim, V'Memshotecha B'Chol Dor V'Ador. Einei Kolecha Yisaberu, V'Atem Tzanahem V'Tachlam B'Ito. Tzadik Emet Kol Drachav, V'Chasid B'Kol Ma'asav. Retzon Yirgaseh, V'Shavetam Yishma V'Yoshiem. V'Hiltan Alever Pi, V'Gorek HaMasar Shem Kodsho Elam V'Ed. Anak Nevarek Yam Etav Yadam. Hallelujah. 153, we rise for the returning of the Sefer Torah to the ark. Ya hallelujah, et Shem Adonai, ki niskav shemo levado, Odo areret. Shamayim, Vayaret Ereyahu, Yichal et Ol Asidav, Livnei Yisrael Lam Gerobo. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Mizmor David, Havul Adonai b'nei Elim, Havul Adonai kavos, Havul Adonai kavos Shemo, Ishtachavu Adonai b'Hagat Kodesh. Kol Adonai al Hamayim, El Hakavot Yirim, Adonai al Mayim Rabim. Kol Adonai ba'Kavod, Kol Adonai be'Hadar, Kol Adonai shofer arazim, V'yishaver Adonai et arzei ha'maron. V'yagidim k'mo wagel, Nevidan Mercian k'mo ven re'emim. Kol Adonai chosei raboteish, Kol Adonai yakim midbar. Yakil Adonai Midbar Kadesh, Kol Adonai Yechol Hayazot, Lechasof Ya'arot, Uvechol Kol Omer Kavod. Adonai Hallelujah, Shafayim Adonai Melech Adonai Oseam Moitei, Adonai Yehoret Et Amo Shalom. 154, bottom paragraph. Yomar. Natati lachem Torati alta azovut. Eitz ha'yimim la'machazim la. Let's move this table back over. Well, for crying out loud. I didn't realize this was a pull table, not a push table. Thank you. But I'm pumped. All right. All right, we are going to continue with a spirited Musaf service. It remains standing. Chatzi Kaddish 155. We are going to do immediately a Heki Kedusha, the first few blessings on 156b together, 157 together. Continue on silently on your own to the end of the Musaf Hamidah, the Musaf additional Hamidah, to 161. Yitzgadol Yitzgadol Shemei Rabba, Ma'ai Rakate, Gamit Ma'putei, High Honorable Festival Beit Yisrael, Bagadat was Ma'abri, Imru, Amen. Hey Shmera Mevarach, Le'alam Elmayah, Yitbarach, Yishbach Rabinam Yitnasei, Yitadar Le'Elah Shemei Kurisha, Redu, Le'elam Yikoshagda B'Shirata, Jush Bechata Menekemata, Damiran Yama, Imru, Amen. 156b and 157 out loud together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor, Ha'Rai Ha'Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, V'Gonei Ha'Kol, V'Zoker Chaznei Yahot, V'Yikvar Lebneihem L'Ma'an Shemo B'Yachava, Nala zervo Eloshia Maki, Arata Aranai, Mayram, Exara, Atagi Molelamana, Nefeti Matara, Eloshia, Metakel Tagi Bethesed, Metaye Metim Berakam Rakim, so men of flavor of Holy, Umatir Asurim, Umakaye Nato, Shele Afa, Lita Moka Bakakuro, Umino Nela, Nelpemi, Umakaye, Umasri Abishua, Menema, Tatayo Meti, Barukatai, Metaye Abneti. Nari Sekav Nari Isosira Sarfe Kodesh Amagishi Baba Kodesh Kakatu Bayan Miada Mekana Zen Zevinamar Kadosh 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 Adonai Yisrael Melon Haaretz Kevodo Kevodo Malera Meshakav Sholim Zeh Lazeh Einakum Kavalo Netam Baruch Yomeiru Baruch Kodonai Nikomo Nikomo Yifen Barakami Ve'akonam Am Yakabim Shirbo Erekamote Yom Kami Amai Be'ava Shema Omrim Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Hu Eloheinu Hu Avinu Hu Malkeinu Moshiach Hu Yashmi'enu Berachamav Rachamav Sheini Ei Kohai Yulachem Lelokim Ani Adonai Elohechem Udivrei Kotchach Lemor Yelochem Elam Elohai Yisrael Ador Hallelujah Yom Ador Ani Lacham Netzlechakim Kishetanagish Vashitchacha Elohim B'Pnei Moslam Ba'ed Yamat Lo Kadosh Ata Baruch Ata Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. Come to Shabbat B'Ratzit. If you are still praying, please continue to do so at your own pace. Kaddish Shalem 181. יתקרב אל השמי רבה, ימד ירחב מפותי, וחייכון וכון פתח על בית ישראל, אגרת בזמן הריף באמרו, אמן, יהי שמי רבה מברך, וחמה מלמיה. יתברך וישתבח בזר ושם בהתנשא, יתדר, תלך תלך שמי קודשה, ברכו לאילם כברתה בשירתה, ושבחת ונתמתה, תקרם דמה באמרו, אמן. תתקפה סלום נבון ישראל, חדוק אדון דשמיא באמרו, אמן, יהי שלום שמיא לחיים עלינו בישראל באמרו, אמן, עושה שלום ויעשה שלום עלינו לכל ישראל ולכל בית הבל באמרו, amen. You may be seated. 182. Ein Kelohenu. Ein Kelohenu, Ein Kelohenu, Ein Gemalkeinu, Ein Gemoshienu, Mikelohenu, Mikaronenu, Mikemalkeinu, Mikamoshienu. Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu. Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu, Atahu Shekatiru, Avoteinu, Levanecha Ektoret Asami. Time for Jewish calisthenics. Stand back up. Or please rise as they more firmly say. Aleinu 183. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon ha'kol, l'ategu la'yotzer b'shir, shalom asanu b'nei ha'ratzon, ve'lo samanu b'nei ha'adamah, shalom asanu b'nei ha'adamah, ve'gol aleinu b'nei Anagim Torim, Unisharagim Ugorim, L'Temelech HaLachim, HaKadosh Baruch She'unot Hashamayim v'yosei ha'aretz, Moshe v'karon Hashamayim ima'al, U'she'inat uzo, Tegod v'meromim, U'Eloheinu Eino, Eloheinu Resulato, Kakatu B'Torato, Yadata Hayom, Hashekota, Elamavata, Yadonai Hu Elohim, Bashamayim Ima'al, Yaret Mirtakat, Eino. Who is it? ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר, והיה אדוני, ומלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. May be seated if you wish. This week at Temple Israel, we commemorate the yard site for the anniversary of death of the following. Today, the 15th, is the yard site of Henry Kuchar. Tomorrow, May 16th, are the yard sites of Oswald Hausknecht and Sarah Hausknecht. May 17th, are the yard sites of Dorothy Heiger and Marilyn Kuchar. May 18th, are the yard sites of Edward Kaplan and Adele Siegel. And May 19th, are the yard sites of Shirley Darling, Harold Marvin Katz, Bertha Perlman, and Fanny Waldman. Any other yard sites coming up this week that are not on this list that you've included? Yard sites. And as always, we do remember the members of our congregational family who have passed away in the previous year and their loved ones. Ori Ben Chaya, Frederick Violet, Irma Wallen, Harold Gross, Libby Kuchar, Stephen Rosenberg, Alfreda Meyerson-Budman, Stephen Silverberg, and Jacqueline Feingold. I invite all those in the morning, those observing the yard site, those who wish to do so, to please rise as we turn to page 184 for the Kaddish Yatom, the Mourner's Cottage. Yitkadal, Yitkadash, Merah, Yamad Yivrak Yirtei, Yamlit Malchutei, V'chayechon V'yomechon, Uv'chayed Obek Yisrael, V'agalat Zman Kariv, Imru Amen, Yehesh Merah, Mevarach, Levan Maya, Yitbarach, Yishtabach, Yitfahar, Yitzramam, Yitnaseh, Yitadar, Yitaleh, Yitalal, Shemech, Yudusha, Rechu, Le'ela, Min Kol Birchata V'Shirata, Gush Lachata, V'Nechemata, Ta'miran, V'Amah, V'Imru, Amen, Yehesh, Lama, Lava, V'Shemaya, Le'chaim Aleinu, Ya'kol Yisrael, V'Imru, Amen, Oseh Shalom, Lama, Yaseh Shalom, Aleinu, Ya'kol Yisrael, V'Imru, Amen. May their memories always be for enduring blessing. May be seated. We do like to share in our simchas, our happy tidings as well. A good example of a simcha is Ben's bar mitzvah today, so that's a simcha. So are birthdays. And we have birthdays to report. Today is the birthday of Christy Aber. Woohoo! Dr. Josh Nathan. The 18th is the birthday of Neil Temia. The 19th, Gil Borenstein. And the 21st, batting cleanup on birthdays for the week. Rami Trace has a birthday. And none of them are Tony Hall. Not that it really matters. Age is just a number. But let's see, we have some, just to keep announcements brief. We have this weekend, actually, this is the weekend of Shavuot, the third and final of the pilgrimage festivals, the three major festivals on the calendar. We have Sukkot, which comes right after the high holy days in the fall. We have Pesach, Passover, which is the early spring festival, and the late spring, early summers festival of Shavuot. The giving of the Torah begins tomorrow night. Woohoo! So it's a custom to stay up late and study Torah. Email has gone out to the congregation regarding a virtual global 24-hour period of Torah study put on by the Rabbinical Assembly of the Conservative Movement. You're more than welcome. You don't have to register to be part of that. You can just click the link and join in. Anytime. We're starting it at noon tomorrow for those who are not comfortable using technology on major holidays. So they can still get some learning in before the holiday starts tomorrow night. But for those of you who are comfortable using technology, you've got 24 hours to bask in all of the learning that's going to be going on from some of the great minds in the movement today. And then we have our early bird Shavuot Minyan, our morning service on Monday the 17th at 7 a.m. And for those who come, we will also be doing Yizkor, a special memorial service that's done 4 times a year on Yom Kippur and the 3 major festivals. So we will be doing it on Monday for those who are in attendance. Other than that, one last little announcement is in a few weeks, actually in 3 weeks from today, is Talia Baskin's bat mitzvah celebration. So another one of Ben's classmates will be celebrating becoming a bat mitzvah, as this is for girls. So we're looking forward to that. Other than that, we're doing everything out in the patio, correct, guys? Okay, so after we conclude with the Don Olam on page 187, we are going to then file out to the back patio there, and where if you guys want to, if you feel safe to yourselves, since we're outside, we can distance and actually take our masks off. So it's really hard to sing and like take a breath and it just sucks the mask into your face. So it'll be nice to get some fresh air. Also, these masks, by the way, tell you if you're doing a really good job brushing your teeth. So found that out the hard way. I just want to again wish a yesher koach, a job well done to Ben on all his hard work and all the things that you've accomplished. And as Josh said when he presented with the Chumash, as you've been taught many times, this is a beginning, not an end. So may this be the first of many, many, many such wonderful occasions for you in your Jewish life, because becoming a bar mitzvah, it's a life journey. So you have the rest of your life, and may you enjoy long life and good health to do so. And I also want to acknowledge again your family who gathered here today, your parents and your siblings for supporting you throughout this process, and your grandparents for coming in to show their support as well, and to take part in this wonderful celebration. To all of you for coming out to support the family as well, and to show your love to those of you who are joining us virtually. Hopefully the sound was okay for you guys. I never know because I can't hear where you are, but I know it means a lot to the family that you guys were that you guys were attending, albeit virtually. So it's always nice to have that, to have that kind of support. I want to thank David Winthrop, our Gabbai extraordinaire, who is the man behind the scenes for services every week. I want to thank our Torah readers. I want to thank Josh Nathan for batting leadoff. I want to thank Ben for batting cleanup. And that's about the extent of my baseball analogies. That's as far as they go. I'm trying to forget anybody else. I can't think of anyone. Also, my parent, who has been Ben's teacher. I've known Ben ever since the family came here. For also all the work and love that you care that you showed in Ben's education and tutoring. And it really is a labor of love with you. So thank you very much. So as my mentor, Rabbi Dan Shevitz, said, every good rabbi knows that when you're done talking, stop. So we are going to continue. We're going to conclude with Adon Olam in 187. And again, everyone is invited out in the patio afterwards. We're going to do a little bit more blessings. We're going to say the blessing of the grape juice, and then we're going to say the blessing over washing our hands, and then we're going to be making motzi and saying a blessing for bread, after which we can break bread and schmooze for a little bit. 187. Adon Olam asher la'ala b'terem kol yitzir nivra ye'nat asal b'chefzor kol azay melech shemod mikra v'yachari yichotako v'varo yilok nora v'humayna v'huhovei v'hu yinye v'tifara v'hu echad v'yesheni v'hamshil bo le'achira v'li reshit v'li tachti v'lo ha'oz v'ha'misra v'hu endi v'chaydo ali v'tzorchevni v'yetzara v'hu nisi v'manosti v'nakosi v'yom ekra v'yado v'kirufi v'yetisham v'yahira v'imrufi g'virati Adonai li v'lo ira. Shabbat shalom v'chulam. A good Shabbos to you all. Is that right? Did it go back to Hold ya.
So Ben, it was over?
Yeah. Great job. It's hard work. Sure.
Yeah, with your yarmulke.